learning. Today, I want to share with you 9 ways that you can engage your readers to get more views, get more engagements, get more, um, yeah, get more people to notice you and get a better connection with your viewers. So that is what this video is going to be about. So, number one is saying thank you. So, for example, say thank you when people have commented. Say thank you when people share your stuff and tag you. Say thank you just in general. Be nice about it. One of the things that I do is that on my Buy Me a Coffee page, I put in thank yous in my videos. So if you're a member of my community in there, I will say thank you in one of my videos for you joining. So in general, number one, say thank you. Number two is take selfies with your book. Well, not you, but encourage people to take selfies with your book and post on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, so that other people will see your book. And then again, say thank you when people do it. As soon as you see someone do it, retweet, reshare, let people know that you're grateful that they shared it, because that will mean your book goes out even further, and then they might interact with you again, which means it gets out even further. So that's a really good tip. Make an online book club. So, what you can do to engage your readers and get them talking even more and going even deeper into your book is to create an online book club. So, it's amazing to have a book club where the author is part of it, right? So, doing that will make your readers connect even more to you. It will make them go even even deeper down into the content that you've shared with them in your book. And even you will learn what your readers like and doesn't like, and where you can focus on whatever it is that you have in your book, your topic. um, so that can give you um, a lot of experience with your own material as well, and working with it even to figure out, okay, if you want to set up um, a course at some point, what are the topics that the people in the book club or book clubs find interesting? I would suggest that the first time you do a book club, have a small amount of people in it just to test it out and see how it works. I am thinking that this is something I want to try with my book at some point, just to kind of help people and see what works, what doesn't work. So that was number three. Creating a podcast is number four, and that's actually divided into two, because creating a podcast can be a really interesting way to promote your book and to get all of your knowledge on the topic out to another audience that might not be reading a lot of books, but might just be listening to you and then buying your services from there, or getting to know your book from the podcast and buying it that way. So I see, well, actually, I see three types of podcasts. There are podcasts where you're just talking on your own, kind of like I'm doing right now on this video. So, speaking for on your own, just having the topic of your book, maybe do a chapter or a couple of pages or a concept for each episode. You can plan this out in advance and say, I'm just going to do a 12 episode podcast and that's it. Or you can do it as a thing that you keep kind of working on. Um, you can also do oh wow, yeah, okay, a behind the scenes kind of thing. So having the things that still just you doing the podcast, but bringing in, other than the topics in your book, also bringing in the stuff that quite didn't make it to your book, or maybe you learned something new since you wrote the book. I definitely learned something new before or since I wrote my book. So having like an updated version of your book in podcast form, you can do that. You can have a co-host. So maybe you co-authored your book, then a co-host would be, well, makes sense, right? Or it could be someone who has a different angle on your topic, or it could be someone who wrote another book within the same area. And then the last part could be just interviewing people. I started a podcast that was related to my book. It's not active anymore, but what I did, I interviewed people. So I took interesting people within the area of self-care and caregivers and interviewed them for my podcast, um, and to kind of let them share their story in the same way or at the same time promoting the book that I wrote, because we were then talking about the areas that were covered in my book, and my book had these themes of how to help people in those situations. So that was another way to make my book relevant for the audience. Going back, and I know I'm jumping a little bit, but I just wrote everything down and then I'm going with it. So, but I hope it's helpful. If you think it's helpful, I would love for you to comment below the video or in the chat. But asking people about the design and the title and the process of your book, that is also a great way to engage people, and especially if you already have an audience, either because you published books before or because you've done something else, then, or just in general, let's say you have 400, 500 friends on Facebook or wherever, LinkedIn, Twitter, following, um, share it there. Say, okay, so I have these 3 covers, which one do you like the best? Or I've been dabbling between these titles. This is a concept for my book. Which title do you like? That way you're engaging the audience and letting them know that you're working on the book and that it's coming out soon or whenever. But it helps engage and make people interested in what it is that you're doing. And maybe even start asking you, what is it that you're doing? What's the book about? What is it? When is it coming out? Who's it for? Who's the audience? Stuff like that. So that will keep you engaging with your potential audience before the book is even out, and even maybe letting you pre-sell some books. That's also an amazing opportunity, right? Um, and keeping in that area could also be asking your audience questions. A great way to engage people is to ask them questions. So I would love to know in the comments below, how do you engage your audience? Let me know. And there might be some great ideas that I haven't thought of that you have success with. So it would be amazing to be able to share that with everyone else as well. So do share that in the comments. Um, then also on ask for feedback on your concepts, on all of the things that you are writing, because getting feedback makes the reader feel engaged and feel involved, and it will also give you something more to work on, like more content to do, more things to work on for your next book and to put in revisions of your book. So ask people questions to make them or sorry ask for feedback on the concepts, because it will also help you develop your own concepts and get even better at what it is that you're doing. Um, Share your process, plain and simple. One thing is to ask for direct feedback, like asking questions, asking people about your book cover or your book title and stuff like that. But just sharing your process will also help engage people. It will make them feel like they know you better, and the people who ask questions, if there's something you don't know, are the people you feel like you're knowing. So if people feel like they know you, they will then tend to ask you more questions. So that's a really good way to kind of get people engaged in the long run. It's a bit of a more long-term strategy, but it will help you build your brand and make people engage with you on further down the hill, or even the people, like I posted this morning that I am just doing the first 2 interviews for this channel, yay, today. And it's going to be amazing. And even though I didn't ask people to engage with me, I still got people liking and commenting on those. So telling people your process and where you're at will help you get engagement as well. And the last one is also really important: respond to comments. If people take out the time to comment on what it is that you're doing and liking and just like giving you feedback, respond. Say thank you. Like that's back to tip number one, right? Saying thank you. If people say, hey, great video, Diana, then I will go in and say thank you. I'm happy you liked it. Or what would you like to see in the next video? Stuff like that. Respond to the questions, respond to the comments, even though it's only a love that or oh my god, that was bad, or whatever it is. I don't know, do you think this is too bad? But whatever it is, respond to it, because responding will make you more relatable. It will let your viewer, your reader, know that you are there, that there's actually a person behind the thing, that it's not just um, some VA sitting there posting. And it's there's nothing wrong in having a VA. I think it's an amazing idea and an amazing concept, but sometimes it's also really important for you to relate to your audience, for it to be more authentic and for them to trust you more. So if they trust you, they will be more willing to buy from you, they will be more willing to support you, to read your books. So remember, respond when people are writing you, whether it's online, like, well, also if they say hi in real life, it would be really weird to not say hi back, right? But if it's on Instagram, Facebook, or even on email or private messages, wherever it is, remember to respond and look at, okay, what is the value you can bring? And if they ask a question you can't answer, then say, hey guys, I'm sorry, I don't know the answer to this, but I will figure it out. And here's the idea for your next topic for a blog post, a video, whatever it is, however it is that you are promoting yourself, or however you are branding yourself or giving value to your readers or listeners or viewers. um, those questions, even though you don't know the answer when they ask them, you're just writing to them, hey, I don't know at the moment, I will get back to you. And then you figure it out and get back to them and say, hey, this is the answer I could find, this is my point of view. If you feel like going more in depth, I wrote this blog post or made this podcast episode or this video about it, go watch that. That would be amazing. So that is the way I see you engaging more people. So if you have, like I said, other great ideas, I would love to know in the comments. And that's all for today. And this, by the way, is not quite all for today. This is the new concept for me. I am doing live videos. So if you want to join me on my live videos, I would be really happy. But let me know, when does the time fit for you? Okay, I am so bad at this. I've given you way too many things to do in the comments, but just answer something in the comments so that I know you're there. That's it for today. Have an amazing day, and yay, I did my first live.